Good evening. Today, let's try to discuss the difference between president's rule and governor's rule. In fact, the Constitution of India, under Article number 356, has mentioned about the president's rule. But very recently, we know that in Jammu and Kashmir, it's the governor's rule that has been imposed. Why not the president's rule, but why it is the governor's rule? First of all, we need to make a distinction between the powers of Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of the country. Jammu and Kashmir is the only state in the country with a separate constitution. So, with respect to this Jammu and Kashmir, there is a separate constitution, meaning Jammu and Kashmir is governed by both the Constitution of India as well as the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir. And that Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir was adopted on January 26th, 1957. Since then, Jammu and Kashmir has got its own and separate constitution. But if you look at Article 356 of the Indian Constitution, that permits for the imposition of the president's rule in a state. But please remember, when we discussed the Constitution, when we reached part 6 of the Constitution of India, we made it very, very clear that the Constitution has mentioned that when we are using the word state under part 6 of the Constitution, it includes all the states in India except Jammu and Kashmir. So it has been made very clear by the Constitution of India because Jammu and Kashmir has been provided special status under Article number 370 in order to understand with respect to the aspects with respect to Jammu and Kashmir. So we need to read Article 370 of the Constitution. And that particular article has provided a special status to Jammu and Kashmir. So, of course, now we know that there are two constitutions in India. One is the constitution for entire India, including Jammu and Kashmir. And with respect to the states, all the states in the country fall under the same constitution, that is Constitution of India. But when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir, along with the Constitution of India, it also falls under its own constitution. That is the reason why we already know why the president's rule is imposed. Basically, what happens, the constitution makes it very clear, whenever there is a failure of the constitutional machinery, there is a necessity for the implementation or imposition of the president's rule. And of course, with respect to other states, that is recommended by the governor and the president is announcing, and the president's rule is imposed. Same thing will happen even with Jammu and Kashmir. But for the first 6 months, it is not the president's rule, but it is the governor's rule that is imposed. So within these 6 months, either the governor of Jammu and Kashmir may revoke the assembly or he may dissolve the assembly. If the assembly is dissolved, then the elections will be conducted within 6 months. If assembly is not dissolved, if the governor's rule is not governor's rule is not revoked, then automatically that will lead to the imposition of the president's rule. But kindly remember, let's understand this point very clearly. Whether it is governor's rule or president's rule, it is the governor of Jammu and Kashmir who is playing the crucial role. Of course, when it comes to the president's rule, along with the governor, the president may appoint some more people to take care of the affairs of the state. So obviously, you have no chief minister and you have no other ministers, and that has been dissolved. That's the reason why in the recent past, very recently, so we understood that it is a coalition government in Jammu and Kashmir, that is Bharatiya Janata Party and PDP. And very recently, BJP has withdrawn support to PDP. And obviously, there was no other go. The chief minister, she has submitted the resignation letter, and there was no possibility of another alternative government. And Congress party also did not try to form the government with the support of PDP, meaning all the doors have been closed. So there was no other go except imposing the governor's rule. That's the reason why governor's rule has been imposed in Jammu and Kashmir. Am I clear? With respect to all other states, we see president's rule under Article number 356. But with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, for the first 6 months, it is the governor's rule. So that is under article, that is under section 92 of the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir. Please remember all these points. Now, what happened in Jammu and Kashmir? In Jammu and Kashmir, the assembly has been kept under suspended animation. What do you mean by this? Kindly remember, if you dissolve the assembly, elections must be conducted within 6 months. Election commission will gear up and elections will be conducted. But if you keep the assembly under suspended animation, meaning MLAs will be there, assembly is also existing, but with no powers of making legislations. After all, that is a state legislature that is basically meant for making the laws, and that power is lost by the concerned assembly. That is the reason why it is called suspended animation. So tomorrow, what may happen, because of any reason, if BJP and PDP comes together once again, or Congress party, PDP comes together, or some other political parties will come together, and if they claim to form the government, there may be a possibility of revoking governor's rule, and another democratically elected government will be established. But these chances are very, very remote. And meaning, so this is going to be under governor's rule for a period of time. And this is not the first time in Jammu and Kashmir. Earlier, also, governor's rule has been imposed, and that has been turned into president's rule later. Am I clear? Now, with respect to governor of Jammu and Kashmir, I would like to say a few points. So the gentleman is N.N. Ora. He belongs to 1959 IAS batch, and he belongs to this. He is of Punjab cadre, and he worked in various capacities. At the central level, he worked as a defense secretary. He worked as home secretary, and after his retirement, he also worked as interlocutor with respect to the affairs of Jammu and Kashmir to establish peace in Jammu and Kashmir. And later, in the year 2008, he has been appointed as the governor of Jammu and Kashmir. So, since 2008 till today, the same person is continuing as the governor of Jammu and Kashmir, and under his governorship only, this is the fourth time. This is the fourth time that governor's rule has been imposed, and the term is going to come to an end very, very soon. It is going to come to an end by June 25th. Either he'll be asked to continue, or there will be a replacement. So we need to wait and watch. But as of now, under in Jammu and Kashmir, you have the governor's rule that has been imposed. So now I would like to open the document. I would like to show you the points, and kindly follow these points. See, basically, if you observe very clearly, Jammu and Kashmir is always there in the news. It is an integral part. Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. And our constitution, our schedule number 1, it mentions about Jammu and Kashmir. So that is the reason why India has got complete authority over this. Right? But with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, it's always there in the news because of the various issues, especially from the other side of the border, from Pakistan. Unprovoked fighting takes place, and of course, Indian army also retaliates. But it is the people of Jammu and Kashmir who are suffering like anything. And for the last many years, negotiations are being taking place, and unfortunately, they are being stopped in the middle. And of course, in the nearest future, we don't know if the peace takes place, and obviously, which is a must and necessary for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Many governments have tried and all the governments have failed so far. And hopefully, very soon there will be a solution for Jammu and Kashmir problem. And just like the other people in the country, the people in Jammu and Kashmir should also live very, very happily and under very, very peaceful atmospheres. Fine. Now I would like to open the document. Kindly have a look at this. Jammu and Kashmir has its own separate constitution that provides for an intermediary statutory layer in the state. As per the Article Section 92 of Jammu and Kashmir's constitution, governor's rule is imposed in the state for a period of 6 months. Jammu and Kashmir Assembly remains under suspended animation during this period. However, the governor may dissolve the assembly. Kindly remember, if the house is dissolved, elections will be conducted within 6 months, and election commission will come into the picture. But if it is kept under suspended animation, then this governor's rule or the president's rule, it will continue for a period of time. Look at this. What is suspended animation? Suspended animation of the assembly means the elected MLAs, members of the legislative assemblies, remain in office and the legislative assembly continues to exist without the power of legislation. The moment you revoke the governor's rule, automatically it will get back the life and the members will gather in the assembly and they will be again empowered to frame the legislations with respect to Jammu and Kashmir. But during this period, the governor assumes the power of the legislation at this time. Look at this. At the expiry of the 6 months, the governor's rule and if suspension of the assembly has not been revoked, Jammu and Kashmir will be coming under president's rule. Look at this. In both the cases, the governor administers as per the center's directions. Kindly remember this one. Governor of all the states, including Jammu and Kashmir, they are appointed by the President of India, meaning it is the central government of the day that it decides who should be appointed as the governor. Right? Look at this. If the governor decides to dissolve assembly during his own rule or when the state is under the president's rule, elections shall be held within 6 months. So this is the known point. If the election commission does not hold polls in Jammu and Kashmir within 6 months from the date of dissolution of the assembly, it is required to explain reasons for not doing so. Meaning is simple. Elections are conducted by the election commission. If the house is dissolved, election commission gets into the picture and it will conduct the elections. If because of any reason, if it fails to conduct the elections, election commission has to give the explanation, and based on that explanation, the president's rule is extended. Look at this. So this is the fourth governor's rule that is imposed by NN Ora, meaning only this person has imposed 4 times so far. Earlier, it was in the year 2008 when he became the governor of Jammu and Kashmir for the first time. And after that, again in the year 2015, followed by 2016, and again now in the year 2018. Clear? And this person is going to complete his term on June 25th, 2018, just 2 days away. But this, kindly remember this one. In various examinations from Jammu and Kashmir, many times many questions have been asked, and in the future also this continues because Jammu and Kashmir is always special. The present constitution was adopted on November 17th, 1956, and it came into effect on 26th January 1957. Please remember these two dates. On 17th November 1956, it was adopted and it came into force on January 26th, 1957. That's all for the day. Thank you so much for being with me this evening, and take very good care. Good night. Thank you so much.